From Cichy Stadium in Fargo, North Dakota. Good evening, everyone. I am Andy Simon alongside Roman Shrema as we get set for North Dakota high school football action as the Shanley Deacons prepare to take on the Davies Eagles. Football on Shanley TV is presented by the Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford, Shields, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
Welcome back, folks. As I said before, I'm Andy Simon, joined by Roman Shrema here tonight. And as we get started here, Roman, who do you think are some key players for both teams to watch tonight?
All right, for the Davies Eagles, we got number 10, Ty Satter, main receiving threat, the NDSU commit. So watch for him to make big plays. And then on the Shanley side of the ball, we're going to go senior, number 73, Joe Cava, absolute animal on the offensive and defensive line. Look for his name on every defensive tackle.
I agree. Joe Cava is definitely a very valuable force on both sides of the ball for the Deacons, and being that it is senior night, potentially his final game at Cichy Stadium, I'm sure he'll definitely come out with a little fire and passion. So as we get ready, it is a brisk 52 degrees here with a 10-mile-an-hour wind going towards the south. And as we were kind of touching on before the game, Davies is not that much of a passing team. They've really relied on their run game so far this year. And as for Shanley, they've kind of been in the same boat, but they do like to throw out quick little passes here and there. So it'll be interesting here tonight as neither team really airs the ball out all that much. It'll be a more of a game of running and short passes.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be a lot of quarterback draws for the Eagles with Reed Hartness, their quarterback, likes to do that QB draw a lot. And then for the Deacons, it's going to be a lot of handouts with their three main backs, Aiden Devine, Carson Dean, and Carter Kochman.
Yeah, along with those quarterback draws, we have seen Cooper Mattern run a lot of quarterback draws so far this year for the Shanley offense, and he seems to be mildly successful with it. A bit of a hit or miss at times, but for the most part, he's been pretty successful, been able to gain a decent amount of yards per play, and really getting the ball down the field for the Deacons.
That's defensive tackle, number 73, Joe Davies.
So it is senior night here, if we did not put on it earlier. And another little interesting fact we have here tonight, as this is a 25th Street rivalry, we do have a special little trophy made up for the Shanley Deacons and Davies Eagles. Interesting to see that. You normally don't see that a lot in high school football. That's more of a college football thing, but it is still pretty cool to see that for both teams, as we have had this 25th Street rivalry in multiple other sports, but it hasn't really been shown on the football field as much in the past.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a travel trophy for them, so it's gonna alternate between each of the teams depending on who wins these games. But it's a little extra more to play for both of these teams, so they both want to come up with a little bit more fire and get that trophy tonight.
Yeah, this is definitely a big game for both teams tonight, as Shanley does need to win this to get into the playoffs. And there's just been a lot of tension between these two schools in the past couple years, and there's been a little bit of razzing, I guess you could say, from the Davies side, being that Shanley was in 2A for many years and Davies has always been in 3A. So they have kind of been given Shanley a little bit of a hard time for being at a lower level. But it'll be interesting to see how Shanley can come out playing Davies for the first time in a long time in AAA football. So hopefully we'll have an interesting, close game tonight.
Yeah. And then for the coin toss, Shanley won. They decided to defer. They're going to kick the ball off, so Davies will start on offense, and then Shanley will start on their defense.
Not a surprising move by Shanley there, as Coach Steve Huber does take a lot of pride in his defense, and I know the Deacons do really like to start out on defense just to kind of show the opposing team that they're not going to let anything slide early or at all in this game. So both teams getting ready to start the game with the kickoff here, as Coach Wayne Sargent is rallying his troops, the knockout squad as he likes to call them. And a quick reminder, folks, Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticlub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button, or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. So right now we await the Davies sideline to get ready to return the kick. And a quick little shout out here to a devoted Shanley fan, Mike O'Neill, watching from home. Thank you very much for watching. And quick reminder, folks, if any of you out there want a quick shout out from us at Shanley TV, be sure to tweet us at Shanley TV on Twitter, and we'll be sure to get that out as soon as possible. So Davies now lining up on the kick return, as it is Jack Carlson, and I'm not quite sure who else back to receive. I apologize for not being able to get the other receiver. So Emmett Kenny here lining up from the left hash, kicking into a slight wind. Should not be a problem for the strong-legged kicker. And the kick is up. A nice kick back to Sam Mosier. And that will go into the end zone for a touchback. Another great kick by Emmett Kenny on the season.
Yeah, he's done that a lot this year, is just letting the receiving team have no opportunity to take the ball back and get any yards. So he just boots it out of bounds. And I think both Wayne Sargent and Troy Mattern really enjoy that, having that flexibility there for the kickoffs.
Yeah, Emmett Kenny is definitely a bit of an unspoken hero for the Deacons offense, as he has been able to make a lot of field goals, and as you just saw, he has been able to kick the ball pretty far on kickoffs. So Davies now lines up. They will hand it off to Jack Carlson, and Carlson will be stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain by the strong Shanley defensive line.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of those runs there, those handoff draws with Davies have their back set right behind the tight end and have that motion coming across. So good read there by the Shanley defensive line to break up through the holes and get that tackle for about a gain of 1 yard.
Yeah, nice play to start off senior night for this Deacons defense. So they make a strong statement on the defensive front there. So Davies in the shotgun set, as Mosier goes in motion, and he will get the handoff for a short gain of about 5 yards. That will bring up about 3rd and 5 for the Davies offense. So no surprise here, Davies has come out with 2 straight run plays.
Yeah, they have 2 good backs there with Jack Carlson and Sam Mosier. They used them a lot this year, so look to continue to look for them to get more carries throughout this game.
So Davies coming out under center once again. 3 receivers to the left on 3rd and 5 here from the 25-yard line. And Hartness will throw a screen out to Ty Satter. And Satter will take it past the first down marker and pick up the first down for the Davies offense.
Again, like earlier, Ty Satter, their main receiving throw. So anytime they're going to do any passing plays, it's most likely going to go to Satter. Just with his size and his frame, he's a really good target here for Reese Hartness.
Yeah, that quick little screen or dump-off pass for a nice little gain, that should be pretty popular play for both offenses here tonight. Hartness in the shotgun. He will fake the handoff, and he'll keep it himself, trying to get around the line of scrimmage, and he will pick up a short gain of about 2 yards on that one. Will bring up 2nd down for the Davies offense.
Yeah, again, the defensive line just blowing through all of the offensive line and making Reed trying to make Reed make a play there, and then unfortunately for Reed, he just bottled them up for a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, the Shanley defensive line definitely does not let anything pass them if they can help it. And Davies will line up with one receiver split out wide to the left, as Reed Hartness is in the shotgun set. Mosier will take the handoff, and he will carry a couple Deacons, bringing the ball to about the 36-yard line. That will bring up third down for the Davies offense. Excuse me, that was Jack Carlson on the carry, not Sam Mosier.
Yeah, there's a lot of running there for Carlson coming from the opposite end of the field and then running a jet sweep all the way around, only a pick of about 3 yards. So it's a lot of running for a little bit of yards, but he was able to carry some of those players forward and just keep his feet turning. And then Deacons just bottled him up there at the end.
A great play there by Carlson to try and stay on his feet and try to gain as many yards as possible. So Hartness under center, one receiver split out to the right, as Carlson will go in motion to the left, multiple motions on the play. And that will be a run up the middle, but will be stopped at the line of scrimmage, bringing up fourth down for the Eagles offense. And it appears that the punt team will come out.
Yeah, it seems like that handoff between the running backs a little bit delayed there. Reed had to turn a few times more to get to the correct running back with all the motions there, so that allowed the Shanley defensive line and linebackers to make the read and then get to the ball right before the line of scrimmage.
So Davies to punt here. And the ball is bobbled by the punter, and he will be taken down at the 22-yard line. Great play by the Shanley defensive line to get through that offensive line, as they saw that the punter was bobbling the football, and they were able to stop him before he could make anything happen.
Yeah, it was a really low snap there from their long snapper, and then unfortunately for the punter, he had no chance against Joe Cava, as I said earlier. Great athlete here, and Joe Cava just bottled them up. And now Deacons in prime field position here to score early in this game.
So a strong showcase there by the Shanley defense, as they will only let Davies pick up one first down, as Mattern will hand it off to Aiden Devine here. Devine with a gain of about 1 yard, as he was met early at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the keys here for Davies' defense is to stop the Shanley running back. So once the Shanley running back get 2 to 3 yards past the line of scrimmage, they have immense speed, and that allows them to just blow by everybody else. So as long as they can contain them within that 2 to 3 yard range after the line of scrimmage, Davies should have no problem with the run.
Shanley definitely does have a lot of offensive weapons who can make explosive plays, such as Aiden Devine and Carter Kochman, as the ball is handed off to Carter Kochman and kept by Cooper Mattern. Mattern will run it all the way inside the 10-yard line, bringing up first and goal for the Shanley Deacons offense.
That was a good play there. Have Aiden Devine lead block for Kochman, but that was just a fake to Kochman, and that brought the defense all the way over, and Cooper Mattern had an easy running lane over to the left side of the field.
Yeah, there's that quarterback keeper that we talked about before the start of the game. Very popular in the Shanley offensive playbook. So first and goal here from the 8-yard line for the Deacons offense. The Mattern is in the shotgun formation with doubles receivers. Mattern will keep it for himself, try to navigate through the defensive line. And he will pick up a nice gain of about 5 or 6 yards there, bringing the ball to the 2-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah, that was a good job there with him just being in that shotgun formation. Then the offensive line, as per usual, just gets right past that defensive line, opens up a nice hole there for Cooper Mattern to bring it down to about the 3-yard line.
So second and goal here from the 3-yard line, as the Deacons will line up with 2 receivers to the right and 2 backs in the backfield joining Cooper Mattern. And Mattern will hand it off to Devine. Devine will try to get through the defensive line, but he will be met just in front of the end zone. And that will bring up third down and goal for the Deacons offense.
Yeah, it looked like Devine was about to get it, and then Davies' defense just stopped him right there at that 1-yard line, turned him over so his back was facing the end zone, and then kind of pushed him forward. That didn't allow him to get almost like a stretch out there for the end zone and cross that threshold.
So third and goal here for the Deacons offense, trying to put the first points in this game up on the board. And Mattern will keep it for himself, and he'll try to pound through, and he will get in for the Shanley Deacons touchdown. Great play there by Mattern to lower his shoulder and just pound through the defensive line.
Yeah, they like to do that when they're on that 1 to 2 yard line there in the end zone. Just have Cooper Mattern take the ball from the shotgun or under center and just run it through. And then that's a really strong opening statement for Shanley, stopping Davies on their first possession, then going back and scoring a touchdown. That's really big here early for them.
So Kenny here to tack on the extra point. As the kick will be blocked by the Davies defensive line. So the Deacons will not get the extra point up, as the score will stand 6-0 with about 6.5 minutes left in this first quarter.
Yeah, it seems like Davies' special team just got around the edges there a little fast, and that snag a little high for the placeholder Cooper Matter, and then just that timing issue, and then Davies was able to get there and block that extra point.
So a couple shout-outs here. First off to Jamie Machenbacher, a former Shanley TV member watching tonight's game. Thank you for tuning in. And another shout-out to the Shanley cross-country girls and guys watching the football game right before their state meet. Good luck tomorrow to all the cross-country runners. We hope you do well. And once again, folks, if any of you other viewers would like to hear yourselves with a shout-out on Shanley TV, be sure to tweet at us at Shanley TV, and we will get that out as soon as possible. So Coach Sargent here getting his troops ready, as Kenny will lead the kickoff team out on the field. Kenny now kicking from the right hash, once again into that slight breeze going towards the south. That'll be Jack Carlson and Sam Mosier back to return the kick. As Kenny's kick is up and will go through the end zone once again for a touchback. Great kick there by Emmett Kenny. So it'll be interesting to see how Davies bounces back on this offensive drive, as the Deacons defense pretty much shut them down last drive, and then the Shanley Deacons offense came out and just walked it right down the field into the end zone. So we'll see how Davies will respond to this, maybe with a little more passion and aggression on this drive. As Hartness is in the shotgun. Carlson will fake the handoff. And Hartness will look to pass, and he'll connect with Ty Satter. Satter taking it down this line, and he will take it to the end zone for the Davies touchdown. A great play there by the Davies offense to respond to the Shanley Deacons.
Yeah, before the play was started, I was going to say that Davies is probably going to look to hit Satter more, because they connected to him earlier this game, and he got their first down. And then first play, Ty Satter running that fade route, burned past Jackson Lyer, and then easy pass there for Reed Hart just to Ty Satter, and Ty Satter just jogs it in there for the easy touchdown.
So an 80-yard reception for the touchdown for Ty Satter there. As Davies will come out to tack on the extra point. And that kick is up, and it is through the uprights, as Davies will lead 7-6 here. Just over 6 minutes left in the first quarter.
And if you're Davies, that's a perfect response there for getting stopped on their first offensive possession, getting scored on right away, and then coming out here with the first play, doing an 80-yard touchdown to Ty Satter. That's a really good way to start off their second drive here. So now Shanley going to be able to receive the ball. Should be interesting to see what they do. Maybe they could stick with the run game. They're doing very well with that between Cooper Mattern and Aiden Devine, but they may try to air it out more with their receiving threats, with Braden Kaiser back from injury, as well as Quincy Smith.
Yeah, that was definitely a great response for the Davies offense to the Shanley Deacons, as the Davies offense and defense were kind of getting manhandled by the Deacons, but that was a great way to come back and show that they're not just going to lie down and roll over in this game and just let the Deacons win. So Davies will get ready to kick here, as that will be David Arop, I believe, who will be kicking off. Or excuse me, that is Pablo Nunez Perez, as he will get a nice kick at about the 10-yard line. That will be taken by Aiden Devine. Aiden Devine will pound through a couple Davies defenders, and he'll bring the ball all the way out to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like that ball is tossed between Carter Copeland, the far back receiver, and Aiden Devine. Aiden Devine waved him off there, just got the ball and just brought up for good field positioning about the 28-yard line here. So good starting field positioning for for Shanley. So it should be interesting to see what they run here. If they stick with their run game, or if they try to air it out again.
Yeah, much like the Davies offense on their last drive, the Deacons, they kind of have to respond to the Eagles here, as they kind of as the Eagles put on a bit of a clinic on that offensive drive with just a 180-yard play, as the ball will go out to Carter Kochman. Carter Kochman will lose the football, and it will be recovered by the Eagles at the 48-yard line. Huge play for the Eagles there, as they will keep the momentum all on their side of the field.
Yeah, it was a good play there for Shanley, having Kochman using his speed to get out to the outside, but then for the Davies, Colton Almy was able to come up from behind Kochman and then bat the ball down, and Kochman losing the ball and then recover right about the 50-yard line. So that's a bad series of events here for Shanley, just having a good run there and then just losing that ball and giving Davies the ball right back after they scored that easy touchdown.
Excellent play there by Almy to come in and knock that ball out and keep the momentum going for the Davies side. As Carlson will go in motion, but Hartness will fake the handoff, and he will take it for himself. And he will push the pile a little bit, bringing the ball to the 46-yard line. That'll bring up second down for the Eagles offense.
Yeah, Davies does like to use that, use the run there through Reed Hartness. Reed Hartness being about, I'd probably say maybe 6'1", 6'2" here. And then just using his size, able to get through. He's a big guy, so he's able to, go through those big holes and then allow him to get those easy yardage there through him, since he's a tough guy to bring down.
So the Eagles lining up with 3 receivers to the right in the shotgun set. As we will have a little bit of a change on the offensive front, as Satter will go in motion to the left, and he will get the Jets, and he will push his way to the 44-yard line, bringing up third down for the Davies offense.
Yeah, I thought Satter would have taken that all the way outside. Looks like he had that side open, but he decides to cut it up short, and then he got stopped about 3 yards short of that first down.
So one thing I've noticed tonight is that the Eagles, they've done a great job of staying on their feet while taking contact from the Deacons defense, as you've seen a lot of times where all the Deacons will swarm onto the player, but he'll still gain 1 or 2 extra yards by staying on his feet and keeping his momentum going forward. So 3rd and 2 here for the Eagles, as Hartness will keep it for himself, and he will pick up the first down for Davies, bringing the ball to the 40-yard line. Another example of the QB draw play that has been so prominent tonight.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, that yards after contact is really what's helped Davies this year. Is yes, their backs do get stopped earlier, but then they just keep their balance, stay on their feet, and they're able to roll forward for an extra few yards. So that really helps them for this season.
So 1st and 10 here for the Eagles offense, as Hartness will be under center. And Carlson will go in motion to the left, and he will get the jet. He will take it to the outside. He'll get past one defender, and he will bring the ball to the 34-yard line, bring up second down for the Eagles. Excuse me, that will be the 36-yard line. 37 maybe.
Yeah, good run there by Carlson, just getting to the outside and then having Jackson Lyer crashing down from that corner position, bump outside, and then picking up those extra yards instead of getting those ankle tackles right at the line of scrimmage.
So Hartness under center once again. Carlson will go in motion to the left, and he will get the handoff once again, taking it to the outside, as he will bring it to the 34-yard line this time, bringing up third down for the Eagles.
And one thing I'm noticing from Davies, they like to do a lot of misdirection here. They have multiple backs in the backfield moving for motion, then a lot of fake handoffs and then redirects at the handoffs. So it's really trying to confuse mostly the linebackers, Matthew Montrabacher and Leo Hansen, get them confused so they can open up those running lines instead of having them plug them up, which they usually are able to do.
Yeah, Davies does do a great job of getting a lot of players moving and kind of making the defense think and then being able to capitalize on that. So 3rd and 4 here for the Eagles, as Hartness will fake the handoff and take it for himself. It will be a battle to get to the first down marker, as he will be stopped short, and that will bring up 4th down for the Eagles offense. Just about a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, it looks like Hartness was right about to get there, and then most of the Deacons defender just stopped him almost like a wall, and then he wasn't able to keep his feet going. They pushed him back there, so they're probably going to go for it here, about fourth and short here. So probably going to be a run either through Carlson or Reed is just going to take it himself.
So I formation here for the Eagles. It is 4th and 1.5, as they will call a timeout. The Eagles will call a timeout, excuse me. And don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media. Get the latest updates about Shanley's sports teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts. Like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/ShanleyTV. Follow us on Twitter at Shanley TV. And once again, folks, be sure to tweet at us at Shanley TV if you want to shout out and hear yourself on the broadcast. So Davies coming back out on the field. Now 4th and 1.5 about, as they will line up once again in the I formation, looking to try to pound it through the defensive line there to pick up the 1.5 yards there.
Yeah, I'd like to see Reed just take this right up the gut and then get that first down.
So Hartness will hand it off to Mosier, and Mosier will pick up the first down there for the Eagles. Great job to plow through the defensive line to pick up that short gain there.
Yeah, the offensive line on that possession did a really good job there, opening up that running hole for Mosier, just able to squeeze on by and get those 3 yards to get that first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 29-yard line for the Eagles offense, as Hartness will line up in the shotgun formation with one receiver out wide right. And Carlson will go in motion. Hartness will fake the handoff and looks to pass, and he will not connect with Ty Satter. Excellent defense there by Jackson Lyer to adjust to that play while he was midair. Could have been a dangerous play for the Deacons defense, as we saw earlier, Ty Satter is very dangerous on the receiving end.
Yeah, it seems like on that play, Reed Hartness's ball was just a little bit underthrown, and then Jackson Lyer just making that good play to come back to that ball and able to swat that down. I believe Ty Satter had a hand on that, but he just wasn't able to bring that in. So good defensive play there by Jackson Lyer.
Yeah, excellent play there by Lyer to adjust himself on the fly to stop that play from continuing. 2nd and 10 now from the 29-yard line, as Hartness is under center. He will hand it off to Carlson. Carlson will take it to the outside. He will get past a couple defenders and pick up the first down. And he will bring the ball all the way to the 17-yard line for the Eagles.
Yeah, it seems like Davies' run game starting to pick up, because earlier in their first drive, they really weren't able to get anything going. And then now with Mosier and Carlson getting their feet underneath them, they're able to get past the initial defensive line and then make those linebackers miss and get those extra yardage there for those first downs.
Yeah, they've seen quite a bit of success with that with that jet sweep with Carlson to get to the outside and make a move on a couple defenders. That is first down now for the Eagles, and it will be taken up the middle by Carlson. A nice gain there, which will bring up 2nd down from the 13-yard line. So the Davies run game continues to be pretty dominant here against this Deacons defense, so they just marched themselves down the field after that fumble recovery. About 1.5 minutes left in the quarter, as Hartness is in the shotgun formation. Carlson in motion to the left. Hartness will keep it for himself, and he will cut back a bit, and he will be met right away by a swarm of Deacon defensive linemen. That'll bring up 3rd down for the Davies offense.
Again, I believe that was Joe Cava blowing right past his offensive lineman, then wrapping up Reed right about that line of scrimmage and then bringing them down. So the good defensive hold there for the Deacons. They had earlier they had those few runs they were able to get past them. That was a really good recovery there for them.
So a loss of 1 for the Davies offense there, as we have less than a minute for the first quarter. As Davies will line up with 3 receivers split out to the right, and Hartness will pass it to to Satter, and that will. There's a little confusion if that was a fumble, if that was a backwards pass or not.
Yeah, Coach Madden looking a little heated there on the sideline, talking to that official, saying that he does believe that was a backwards pass there, and Jackson Lyer just read that perfectly. Went right through Ty Satter's hands, and then of course Jackson Lyer, being the quarterback, grabbed that ball and he would have ran all the way to the house. But unfortunately, that looked like it was a forward pass there. So Coach Madden not happy with that call there.
Yes, it was ruled an incomplete pass by the refs and not a fumble. So it'll be 4th down, as the Eagles will try to kick a field goal here with 40 seconds left in the first quarter. And it'll be Nunez-Perez, as that will go through the uprights. The score now being 10-6 in favor of the Eagles.
Yeah, so good defensive hold there for Shanley there. after the fumble recovery by Davies, letting up a few big plays there with the run, able to hold them to the field goal. So a field goal, now they're only down 4 points, said it would have been 8 points. Sorry about that, my math a little slow here today. But now that they're only down by 3 now, another touchdown for Davies, a touchdown for Shanley would be huge now, coming back to a good defensive hold there. So hopefully the Deacons are able to capitalize on this little momentum shift.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if the Deacons came out with a little bit of fire in their bellies after that series of plays there, after that fumble and then that controversy on whether it was a forward pass or backwards pass. And they will have a chance to send their message here as they will return the ball. Collins and I believe Carter Copeland back deep to receive for the Deacons. And Nunez Perez to kick it off from the middle of the field. Going with the wind, a slight breeze here. And the kick is a low one, as it will get to the second line of the return team for the Deacons. I believe Jackson Lyer there, and he will bring the ball to the 44-yard line.
I believe Pablo was trying to do a little squib kick there, but he got a little bit on top of that ball and it rolled forward, so almost like an onside kick there. But good heads-up play there by Jackson Lyer again to just pick up that ball and then get those extra yardage.
And nice job by Lyer there to give the Deacons offense good starting field position there. So the Deacons will line up with 3 receivers to the right. Mattern joined by Devine in the backfield. As Mattern will run the option, and he will keep it for himself, but he will be stopped right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. So that will bring up second down for the Deacons offense.
That was a really good defensive read there for Davies. They had one guy go out to where Aiden would be. I believe it was our linebacker go out to Aiden would be, so that the pass out there would be almost impossible to do. And then they also had 2 guys going up against Mattern, so Mattern almost had nowhere to go there.
Yeah, great job by the Davies defense to really shut down all options there for Mattern and make him think a little bit, as he just had to tuck it away for himself and just pick up 1 yard. So 2nd and 9 here for the Deacons, as that will be the end of the first quarter. So we'll start the second quarter with 2nd and 9 for the Deacons. And folks, if you've enjoyed watching our ShanleyTV.com broadcast, please consider making a donation to help us continue to bring you quality programming. We rely on donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you are interested in donating, please contact Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Again, that is Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your support of Shanley TV. So as the second quarter gets underway here, the Deacons will start with the ball from the 44-yard line in their own territory. As Madden will huddle up his offense a little bit before the start here. And I can only assume that Mattern's a little bit fired up after that forward or backward pass dilemma we had just shortly before this. So I'm sure he's got something up his sleeve to try to send a message to the Davies defense to show that they're not going to quit in this game either, and they're going to try to put up as best of a fight as they can.
No, because Mattern both threw his headset and his hat down as he was really upset here. So he does get really emotional here for this game because he really cares about his team and his players. So he really gets emotional here through tonight. So expect to see if any other calls like that happen. He's going to be super pumped up for it.
So the Deacons here getting ready to start out the second quarter on offense. So the Deacons will line up with 2 receivers on each side. Mattern joined by Devine in the backfield. And Davies will show rush here, as Mattern will hand it off to Devine. Devine will toss it back to Collins for the reverse. And Collins with a little room to run and a little more, as he will break free, but will be stopped. He'll stay on his feet. And he will pick up a couple extra yards after that contact there.
But there does look like there's a flag down about the.
There is a flag on the play, so we will see if that play will be called back or not. And it looks like the refs are signaling towards the Shanley offense.
It looks like it may have been holding or blocking the back, but Collins initially kind of bobbled that ball there, so that was luckily for him. He wasn't able to fumble that, and then him just using his speed is able to weave through those defenders and bring the ball out. But it looks like the ball's going to come back now for a penalty.
And I did not catch the penalty, but it will be going back for the Deacons. So it will be 2nd down and 11, it looks like, for the Deacons. Yeah, I'm not sure what the call was on that play. And so 2 receivers on each side for Mattern. Mattern will take the ball for himself and run it up the middle. Get a nice gain of about 5 yards there, bringing the ball to the 49-yard line in Deacons territory. So a nice play there by Mattern to try to gain back what the Deacons lost on the penalty before. So the Deacons will line up with 2 receivers to the left, and Mattern is joined by 2 running backs. As Mattern will toss out to Kochman. Kochman will try to gain some yards there. He will look to be about 2 yards short of the first down, as that will bring up 4th and 2 for the Deacons offense.
Yeah, Davies again stopped Kochman right about 2 yards after that line of scrimmage. Anything after that, Kochman's speed is just going to blow past everybody. So good job there by the defense just to stop him right before his kind of his break zone. So that was a really good job there for them. Now it's going to be 4th down about 1.5 here or so. It looks like they're going to line up in a shotgun for this here.
They will have 2 receivers on each side for the Deacons offense. Davies will show rush once again. Mattern will take it to the outside himself, and he will be met right away by Davies defenders, as that will be a turnover on downs for the Deacons offense, and Davies will set up shop from the 49-yard line in their own territory.
Yeah, for that defensive possession there for Davies, they ran both their linebackers right up to the line of scrimmage, forcing Mattern to run to the outside for that blitz. And then after that happened, they just had one of their cornerbacks cut down from who they're guarding to stop him at about the line of scrimmage, so he wasn't able to pick up that first down.
So Davies making another statement there on the defensive side as they cause another turnover, the second one in this game after that first fumble. And Hartness will fake the handoff and looks to pass. He looks for Satter. The ball just slightly overthrown as Saturn was by himself with two Deacon defenders trailing shortly behind.
Yeah, that's the thing with Satter, though, is for Davies. Is Satter on that possession, you see that he was probably about a good 3 to 4 steps ahead of both of the defenders there, but unfortunately for him, Hartness just overthrew that ball again. So he's basically burned. Every time he's been on ran that little either that post or the fade route, he's burned past those cornerbacks. So if Hartness can put that ball on the money, then they're going to score almost every single play.
So Carlson in motion. Hartness will fake the handoff to Carlson, but he will keep it for himself. Pick up a gain of about 4 yards there, as that will bring up 3rd down for the Davies offense. So Davies relying on that little QB draw play once again, as they will bring the ball into Deacons territory at about the 47-yard line. 3rd and 6 here for the Eagles. As they will line up with 1 receiver out to the left. They have Truman Weremeyer going motion, but Hartness will just get the snap and take it for himself. And it looks to be just shy of the first down, about a yard short.
Yeah, Hartness just likes to run straight downhill. He doesn't like to do any of that fancy, east-west running, as they would call it. He just likes to go north-south there, and he just puts his head down and he just barrels forward. So luckily for the Deacons, they were able to stop him before he picked up that first down and kind of bobbled him up there. So Reed's probably going to continue to run this game. He's probably going to get maybe at least 15 more carries here, because he can use his speed and his size to get those extra yards.
So 4th and 1 here for the Davies offense, as Hartness is in the shotgun formation. And there will be a false start called on the Davies offense. That will bring them back, and that will make it 4th and 6 for the Eagles here.
Huge mistake there for the Eagles here, being at a 4th and 1. Now you're back to about a 4th and 6 here, so they may change their game plan here if they're going to punt it or if they continue to go for it. But luckily for the Deacons, that gives them a little bit more yardage here to run with. So it looks like they're going to bring the punt crew out now after that penalty.
So the Eagles will change their mind here and bring out the punt team after that penalty. Will be Brock Haddle to punt it away for the Davies offense, as I believe that is Jackson Lyer back to receive the punt. And the snap was on the ground, but they do get it away as Lyer will let it roll. And it will roll all the way to the 9.5-yard line. So a nice punt there for the Eagles to pin the Deacons deep in their own territory.
Yeah, again, that snap low again for the Eagles, and luckily for them, they did not get a punt block or just a punt, just a sack there on that punt. So luckily the punter was able to get that away, and then Lyer calling for a fair catch, let the ball just roll out there, and then took a few extra Eagles bounces there towards the goal line, so that puts them right about the 10-yard line there. So good field position for the defense there. So then that means they have 90 yards to protect now, and then for Shannon, they're going to have to make up a lot of ground.
Doesn't matter, we'll throw out a screen to Kochman. Kochman will try to get through to 2 defenders, and he'll kind of dive his way through them as he will pick up a few extra yards on that little jump there. Now we'll bring up 2nd down and about 4 for the Deacons offense, bringing the ball to the 11-yard line.
Yeah, that's one thing that Shanley does really well there is for both the receivers and the running backs is they tell them to always go for those extra yards. So if you're falling forward, fall forward and dive out there and pick up those extra yards. So as you can see, it helps them a lot here, usually in the goal line situations.
And Mattern will keep the ball for himself. Gains maybe a yard on the play, and will bring up 3rd down for the Deacons. Good job there by the Davies defense to close up any holes that had any potential of opening and to stop the play and stop the momentum that the Deacons had.
Yeah, Deacons sticking with that run game. They haven't thrown too many passes. I believe they've thrown 3 or 4 passes here tonight, so they really like their run game here, and it's worked out well for them here tonight. So depending on how the Davies adjust to that in the rest of this game, they may have to switch up their play style.
So Mattern under center now as he will fake the toss out to Devine, and he will hand it off to, I believe that was Collins on the carry. And it was Collins, as he will not pick up that much yardage, bringing up 4th down for the Deacons offense.
Yeah, Mattern trying to run that misdirection, doing that really high fake toss out to the vine, then doing a little short handoff to Collins. But unfortunately for them, Davies read that perfectly and bottled Collins up at about the line of scrimmage to force a 4th down here for the punt for the Deacons.
So Kenny to punt it away to Ty Satter, and Satter will let it roll. And it will roll to the 47-yard line. So pretty good starting field position there for the Davies offense. And a nice nice punt by Emmett Kenny to get it out of their own territory.
Yeah, a little unlucky for him. He is punting into the wind here through that 10-mile-an-hour wind there. So if there would have been no wind, he probably would have pushed them back maybe to about the 30, depending on the roll there. But really good really good starting position here for the Eagles.
So just under 6.5 minutes here in the 2nd quarter as the Davies Eagles lead the Shanley Deacons 10-6. As Reed Hartness will line up in the shotgun formation. Carlson in motion to the left. He will get the jet sweep, and he will get through the nice hole, taking the ball all the way for the 1st down to the 41-yard line in Deacons territory.
It looks like there's a flag down at about the 50-yard line. I think it's going to be blocking the back or holding there on Davies. We'll see what the call is.
It will be holding on the Davies offense as another play in these past few minutes. A nice long play brought back by a penalty. So it will be 1st and 15 for the Eagles here.
Yeah, penalties have really hindered the Eagles here earlier in this game. So hopefully in the second half they can get rid of those quick unlucky miscues.
A quick correction, it will be 1st and 20 for the Eagles here, as they will hand it off, and they'll try to get it up the middle for a nice gain of about 5 yards. And that was Andrew Sandvik on the carry. And Braden Block was there to stop the run from continuing to develop on that play. So the Eagles will line up with one receiver out to the right, as Hartness will be in the shotgun formation. Carlson in motion. He will get the jet sweep to the right. He will get through a couple defenders. He will stay on his feet and will be tripped up at about the 47-yard line for the Eagles. So a nice pickup there by Carlson.
Yeah, Carlson using his speed there, just taking that jet sweep going to the outside. Once he hits that his little turning point, he just speeds up and goes right past him. You saw Jackson Lai was trying to crack down on that one, but then Satter blocked him perfectly to allow him to slip right behind Satter and then go up there and pick up those extra yardage. So now it's going to be, instead of a 3rd and long, now it's going to be about a 3rd and short.
So 3rd and 4 here for the Eagles offense, as Mosier will go in motion, but Hartness will fake the handoff, and he will be tripped up just shy of the 1st down, bringing up 4th down and about 2. So a nice play there by the Deacons defense.
Yeah, I believe that was Luke Beiswinger on that tackle. Luke Beiswinger coming on the near side, going all the way to the far side, getting that ankle tackle there on Hartness. A really good job there by Luke Beiswinger to stop Hartness from picking up that 1st down.
And the Eagles will go for it as Reed Hartness and the offense is still out on the field. I formation for the Eagles here. Hartness will hand it off, and the Eagles will pick up the 1st down. Quick little score update. Cheyenne leads South 20-0 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in the 1st half. So 1st down and 10 here for the Eagles offense from the 43-yard line. And the Eagles will line up with one receiver out to the left. Carlson will go in motion to the left, and he will get the jet sweep to the left. He will shake off one tackle. He will shake off 2 and stay on his feet. He will be knocked out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Another jet sweep there by Carlson, and a great job of him to get between the corner and the rover Deacon to get upfield and get a nice gain of yardage there.
Yeah, and then Carlson using his speed, able to almost like drop his center of mass lower to the ground so he can be able to make those quick cuts past those defenders, and that's how he's able to pick up those extra yards there.
And he did a great job of running. The Deacons defenders were getting their hands on them and trying to take them down. Hartness will hand it off. That will be up the middle to Andrew Sandvik. A nice pickup there. Will bring up 2nd down and about 2 for the Eagles. So the Eagles the Eagles run game has remained dominant so far in this drive, as they've just been able to pound the ball up the middle and even get it to the outside for nice gains. Hartness will line up, and Carlson will motion to the right, and Hartness will fake the handoff and keep it for himself. He will pick up the 1st down and brings the ball to the 15-yard line. So good job by the Eagles to keep marching down and continue with the success on their run game.
Yeah, getting Davies with that misdirection, faking that handoff, and then having Hartness take the run over there to the outside. Same way as Carlson went, so you can have Carlson as that lead blocker, but then Reed just using his speed again, just able to get through and get that 1st down.
So Carlson in motion to the left as Hartness will keep it for himself, and he will lose the football, and it will be picked up by the Deacons defense. I believe Carter Kochman, as Kochman will cut back up the middle. He'll try to make a couple moves, and he will break free. 10-5 for the touchdown. A scoop and score there for Carter Kochman and the Shanley defense. Huge play there, as that will most likely shift the momentum in this game.
Yeah, Kochman, a really good track athlete, as we've seen last year. Him using his speed, just able to go right past them. And you saw they had one Eagles player was able to pursue him all the way down the field, and then Kochman just putting a little bit of moves on him, weaving in and out, getting him spinning around, and then just able to walk into the end zone. So it looks like they're going to go for 2 here.
That was definitely a play that the Deacons really needed, as the Eagles were shoving their offense down their throat. But Kochman was able to turn the tables a little bit and give the Deacons a little bit of momentum here, as they will go for 2, as Mattern will be under center with Devine in the backfield. And Mattern will fake the handoff, and he will look to pass. He looks for Collins, as Collins will get it in the end zone, as the Deacons will complete the 2-point conversion, as they will now lead 14-10 with 2.5 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, that fumble recovery, huge momentum change here for the Deacons. As you said earlier, that Davies offense was just really strong on them. They're pushing them all the way down the field. Then, unfortunately for Reed Hartness having that fumble, and then Kochman using his speed, bring the ball all the way back down to the house, and now they go for 2. Now puts them up 14-10 here. So now their defense just has to hold here. That's the key here to end out this first half, is just their defense needs to hold here.
Yeah, the Deacons were starting to look a little tired on both sides of the ball, as the Eagles were just hammering their offense through the Deacons' defense, and that was a much-needed play by the Deacons to shift momentum and kind of get a little passion left for their team. And that 2-point conversion just added to the energy. As Kenny will come out to kick from the right hash, kicking towards the south, so he'll kick with the wind.
I expect this kick to go through the end zone, as per usual for Emmett Kenny.
And it will be Ty Satter and Sam Mosier back to return for the Eagles. This Kenny kick is up. A bit of a line drive on that one. It will be taken by Ty Satter. Satter will make a couple moves, make a nice spin move, and he'll break free, but he will be tripped up. And he will be brought down at the 38-yard line. Nice little...
Ty Satter picking that ball up and then using his speed and then able to spin through one tackle and then fall forward to get those extra yardages there. So that was a really good job there by Ty Satter to give them almost about the same place where they started their last possession.
Yeah, a couple nice moves there by Satter, and it looked like he was about to break free for the touchdown, but, excuse me, he did get tripped up a little bit right at the end of that as he got through the hole. So 1st and 10 from the 38 for the Eagles, as Carlson will go in motion, but Hartness will look to pass. He will connect with Sam Mosier for a gain of about 9 yards, bring up 2nd and 1 for the Eagles.
Yeah, and that was Hartness's first pass to a different receiver other than Satter. So it's nice to see that he's passing the ball around, but still their main threat is Satter here. So Deacons did a good job covering up Satter there, so that allowed him to just give that pass to Mosier.
So Mosier in motion to the right. He will get the handoff. He will get the first down and a little more, bringing the ball to the 45-yard line in Deacons territory for the nice pickup and the first down for the Eagles. So 1st and 10 here from the 44-yard line, as Hartness will make a couple fake handoffs and he will hand it off to Carlson. Carlson will try to get the outside. He will pick up about 5 on that play. Bring up 2nd down with just 1:40 left in the first half.
And the Eagles on that play running another misdirection. They had a motion run through, fake handoff to Carlson, and then I believe they get the ball to Mosier, and then Mosier just ran to the outside. And then luckily for the Deacons, they had one of their corners able to crack down on him and push him out to the sideline, so he wasn't able to go free down the sideline for that touchdown.
So 2nd and 7 here for the Eagles, as the ball will be fumbled. Looks to be recovered by Mosier. The Eagles trying to do a little bit of misdirection here as the ball was mishandled.
Again, that's Hartness' second fumble here tonight. So he has to be able to control that ball here, and that he's going to be one of the other keys to this game besides Ty Satter. Is him, if he can control that ball and not turn the ball over, he should be doing really well tonight.
So Mosier will go in motion as Hartness will fake the handoff, and he looks to pass. A lot of pressure as Hartness will be sacked at the 46-yard line in Eagles territory, as that will bring up 4th down and long for the Eagles offense. As the energy will keep picking up for the Deacons here, as I continue to make play after play to boost the competition in this game. So 45 seconds and counting for the first half.
Yeah, they're really good defense play there by Hunter Hannison, who got that sack. The defensive line just forcing Hartness to make a bunch of moves trying to get down, and then Hannison just able to cut right by and then tackle him for a big loss here. So now they're obviously going to have to punt here. So it looks like Jackson Lyon may have a good opportunity here to return it with about 20 seconds left. And it looks like Eagles did just call a timeout here with about 25.4 seconds left here.
So, Roman, for this timeout here, what do you think the Eagles are talking about as they were the ones who called this timeout with just 25 seconds left?
I actually believe that they let the clock wind down, call that timeout, so there's less time on the clock for Shanley to do their offense, so Davies' defense can be on the field for as short amount of time as possible. Because it's cold out, they want to go outside, they want to go back in, get a little bit warm here, recuperate, talk about this first half. They did a really job. Their defense did a really good job early, and their defense kind of staggered here. That allowed Deacons to score the touchdown. Then offensively, they did do really well until Hartness fumbled the football, and then they kind of just changed the momentum for this game.
So the Eagles punt it away to Jackson Lyon. Lyon will let it roll. And it will settle at about the 18-yard line. So just 16 seconds left here in the first half. Not a lot of time for the Deacons to do much. You never know, however, with these explosive players, what they might do. So 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line for the Deacons. Mattern under center, as he will just kneel it down and run out the clock for the first half. So going into the half, the Shanley Deacons will lead the Davies Eagles 14-10. And going forward, what do you think the Deacons need to stay constant with, and what do you think the Eagles need to change?
For the Deacons, I believe that their offense is going to continue to grow and become more explosive here. If they get their pass game more active, they've really been focused on the run game between Ian Devine, Carter Cookman, and Cooper Matter, and they've only done like 2 to 3 passes here tonight. And then defensively, they just got to be able to hold. They've been able to do that a lot better here in the second quarter, especially stopping, I believe, Davies on either 2 to 3 possessions in a row, stopping them on that 4th down, not allowing them to get either the first down or the touchdown. Then for the Eagles, offensively, as long as Hartness doesn't turn the ball over and they continue to run the ball with Carlson and I believe it's Mosher, and then just get those long passes out to Tysider. As long as they're on target, they should have no problem. Then defensively, they just have to stop the run here for Shanley, because Shanley's backs are really explosive here. So those are what those adjustments should be for the second half.
And it'll be interesting to see how the energy, whether it changes or stays the same for both teams, as the Deacons did have a lot of energy going into halftime, and the Eagles didn't have a lot. So it'll be interesting to see if the Deacons can maintain that momentum or if the Eagles can pick up their momentum and get back in this game, as they are only down 4. So don't go anywhere, folks. We will be back shortly with the second half of this Shanley versus Davies rivalry matchup in this big EDC game. Welcome back, folks, to more EDC football action here as I'm Andy Simon, joined with Roman Shrema. And we just like to touch on the importance of this game. I feel like we neglected that a little bit in the first half. But for Shanley to make the playoffs, they have to win this game tonight. But Davies has already secured their playoff berth. Right now, this game is just for seeding. So that definitely adds to the rivalry aspect between Shanley and Davies that has been ongoing for pretty much ever since Davies' inception, being just a couple hundred feet down the street on 25th Street.
As well as there's also a chance for a 5-way tie in the EDC depending on how the other games go. We have Cheyenne and South playing, as well as Central and West Fargo here. So depending on how those games will go, also depends on seeding here for both of these teams.
So it will be Pablo Nunez Perez to kick it away to Henry Collins and Carter Kochman back deep for the Deacons. As the second half gets underway, a nice kick there by Nunez Perez, and it will be fumbled by Kochman. He will pick it right back up. He will make one nice spin move as he will try to get through a couple defenders, but he will not be successful. And a flag is thrown on the play.
Yeah, it seems like that kick just hit Kochman square in the chest, and he just didn't have that ball secured enough. And luckily for him, it just rolled underneath his feet, and he was able to pick it up, gain a few yards after that, and then spin out one tackle. But now it looks like they're going to be pushed back here for a penalty. It looks like it was a holding call here on the receiving team.
So the Deacons will start with the ball deep in their own territory. It will start from the 8-yard line. So as we kind of touched on before the halftime break, it will be interesting to see if Shanley can keep this momentum up that they had a lot of at the end of the first half. As a matter, we'll look to pass to Dean. It will be called incomplete as it did hit Dean's hands, but he lost it right away as he was hit by an Eagle defender.
A little reaction on the Davies sideline. It's almost like that play that we had earlier in the first half where it was a screen pass down the side, and Mattern believed that was a backwards pass. Davies obviously wondering if that was a fumble there, because it kind of looked like he did have it and almost made a football move, but the rest with a good call here, just calling it an incomplete pass.
So 2nd and 10 here for the Deacons. They will line up with two receivers to the right, and it will be Dean and Devine in the backfield. As Mattern will roll the pass, he will hit Devine for a little dump off. Devine will stay on his feet. He will keep going, and he may have picked up the first down on that play. A little talk between the chain gang, as that will be 3rd and short for the Deacons.
I remember earlier in this season, Shanley did like to run those screen passes to both their backs. We haven't seen that a lot in the last two games. But here tonight, that was their first screen there, and it worked pretty well there. I mean, they picked up about 8 or 9 yards there, so I would expect them to see after that success if they could continue to use that. Maybe run different screens instead of doing that front screen. Maybe run maybe a tunnel screen or a side screen.
So 3rd and short here for the Deacons, as Mattern will fake the handoff to Devine and run it for himself, and he will pick up the first down and gain about 5 extra yards after the first down marker. So there we see again with the common occurrence of the quarterbacks keeping the ball and getting a nice gain of yardage and picking up first downs.
Yeah, Cooper using his legs there to just pick up those first downs. They're going to rely on him heavily for most of their run game here tonight, along with both Kochman and Devine here. So Cooper's doing a really good job here running the ball here. He's able to keep the ball keep control of that ball and then not turn the ball over.
So Mattern joined by Devine in the backfield. So he will hand it off to Devine, and Devine will explode up the middle as he will try to keep moving, and it will take 2 defenders to bring him down as Devine brings the ball out to the 43-yard line with an excellent run right up the middle, the train non-stop going through the Eagles defense.
What happened there for the Eagles, they did bring their linebackers up for that blitz, but looking at that replay, the linebackers went to the wrong gaps here, and that allowed them to, I believe that they did a guard trap here. They pulled the guard out to take out one of the linebackers, and that allowed Aiden Devine, using his smaller size but immense speed, to just explode through that line and pick up a lot of those yards.
So Kochman in motion to the left, and Mattern will fake the jet, and he'll keep it for himself and pick up a nice gain there, bringing the ball out to the 49-yard line, still in Deacon territory.
Yeah, another thing here for Cooper is he's fearless running the ball. He would rather hit you than have him get hit. So he likes to go out there and initiate that contact. So that's a really good thing you'd like to have on a quarterback that can do both running and passing here. So just him able to initiate that contact is really big for him and for this team.
And Mattern definitely a big part of this Shanley offense is he is both able to hand the ball, he's able to hand the ball, run the ball, and pass the ball as he passes out a side screen to Kochman. And Kochman will get some nice yardage there. He will stay in bounds on his feet, and he will be pushed out of bounds at the 37-yard line in Eagles territory.
Yeah, it seems like Shanley's made some good second half adjustments here, and for Davies, their defense is kind of sputtering here. I mean, they had a few good stops there earlier in this drive, but now with these back-to-back long runs here that Shanley's been able to put up, their defense is probably looking a little tired, a little flat-footed here. So they need to recover here if they want to stop this really good drive here for the Shanley Deacons.
Yeah, it's kind of looking like a role reversal here as the Deacons are starting to look like Davies in the second quarter as they are just jamming their run game down the Eagles defense. As Devine with a nice run there, bringing the ball to the 32-yard line, and will bring up second and short for the Deacons.
Yeah, again, like earlier in the first half, Shanley was just getting about 2 to 3 yards per carry. Now they're getting up to that 4 to 6 range here, so obviously their offensive line is doing a really good job here in the second half, opening up those running holes. But then also their running backs are able to get to the holes faster. And then the Eagles defense just looking a little slow here, coming off the ball and going to those running lanes.
So 2nd and 4 here for the Deacons. Mattern will fake the handoff to Devine and keep it from himself. He'll try to pound through a couple defensemen, but he will be stopped short of the first down, and that will bring up about 3rd and 2. So there you see Mattern once again kind of sacrificing himself for the better good as he tries to pound his way through that Eagles defensive line.
Yeah, Mattern saw that opening a little bit earlier than he thought he was going to try to get there. Then they got plugged up, and then he was just able to just bounce out to the outside, pick up a few extra yards there. But that was a good stop there by the Eagles defense to limit these back-to-back runs that Shanley's been able to put together so well.
So Mattern under center here as he will toss it out to Devine on 3rd and short. Devine will try to get to the outside, but he will be stopped shy of the first down. And there will be no gain or loss on the play as it will be 4th down and 3.
That's one hard thing to do on offense is running those pitches out to the outside. Is you also have to have your linemen and some of your receivers go out there and block, and that takes time to develop. So then for the Eagles, once their linebackers in their corner, you see that they're just going to go all out to reach to the ball there, and then obviously they're going to have numbers, and that allowed the Eagles to stop Aiden Devine before he got to that first down and maybe pick up about 1 or 1.5 yards.
A very nice play by the Eagles there to stop the dangerous Aiden Devine from getting an open hole and being able to run it down the field. So the Deacons were set up to go for it on 4th down here, but a timeout is taken by Coach Mattern.
Yeah, I believe he just didn't like that formation they're running. I mean, Mattern in shotgun. He had one receiver out to his right, I believe 2 to his left, and then had Devine in the backfield. So maybe he didn't like that. I mean, it's about 4th and 2, 4th and 3. So maybe they think of doing a little quick screen there, and they didn't like what the defense did. So they may try to switch to a run here. Maybe do a little pitch out to the Devine and maybe do a run pass option with Cooper Mattern here. Just have Aiden Devine tail him, and then they can just either pick up that first down through Cooper, or just give that ball to Aiden and see if he can get to the outside and get some more yardage.
So Quincy Smith will sub in here for Hunter Hannison. And as you stated, Mattern probably just not liking the formation, trying to maybe change up the play a little. And knowing Mattern, he's most likely not going to change it to a punt here on 4th and short, especially when he's in mid-range in Eagles territory. So the Deacons will line up with 3 receivers split out to the right. Mattern in the shotgun formation. And Mattern will roll to his right and looks to pass. The pocket closing, he looks to pass, and he will not be able to connect with Quincy Smith, that is Carson Dean. Dean had to dive out for that ball a little bit and could not quite haul it in.
Yeah, it seems like there may have been a little miscommunication there in the routes because I believe that Dean was working to the far side of the field, or to our side of the field, and then Mattern thought that he was going to work back there, so that he had to throw that ball out a little farther for Dean, and then Dean had to extend out there for that dive, and it hit him in the hands, but he just wasn't able to come up with that catch.
So Davies now taking over from the 30, as Hartness will hand it off to Carlson, and Carlson will explode for a nice gain of about 9 yards there. Carlson just got that ball in stride and kept moving. Or excuse me, that was Mosier, not Carlson. But Mosier just got the handoff in stride and came out firing and brought the ball to the 38-yard line.
Yeah,
So
again with that misdirection there, they faked the handoff to Carlson, and then they just gave the ball off to Mosier. And then with that misdirection, it caused everyone to shift over, and that's what they do really. That's what they do really well here for Davies. Is just doing that misdirection to get their running backs open.
So 2nd and 2 here as Carlson will get the sweep, but he will be stopped right away by Matthew Machenbacher on the outside.
Yeah, Matthew Machenbacher, one of the captains, a really good linebacker senior here. He does have a nose for the football here, so almost on every tackle you'll see him. Almost on every tackle he'll be in there. So he likes to hunt for that ball. He will go through. Once he sees his lane, he's like a dead shot right to that ball. So he does a really good job there.
Yeah, Matthew Machenbacher is definitely a very aggressive and passionate linebacker who will always try his best to get to the ball. As Hartness will take the ball up the middle for himself, and he will pick up the Eagles' first down and brings the ball to the 42-yard line, still in Eagle territory.
Yeah, it seems like on that play, Reed was able to pick up the first down, but he was still looking for more. I mean, he got wrapped up. It looks like he wasn't really putting his head down. He's kind of standing up straight, about to like chop his feet, see if he can get the cut out there. But unfortunately for him, he was just wrapped up there because he looked like he could just pop out to the outside and then take that all the way down.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to take a couple baby steps and then perhaps make a juke, but he was met from behind by a Shanley defensive lineman. So 1st and 10 here for the Eagles, as Carlson will go in motion to the left, but Hartness will keep it for himself. A nice little QB run as he is later driven back by Matthew Machenbacher, as his name will pop up once again, being a very strong aggressor for the Deacon defense.
Yeah, another thing is Hartness. Sometimes when he's running the ball, if he has that lane open right for him, he's just going to go right away on that play there. He got the ball and he kind of did a little stutter step right at the line of scrimmage, waiting for those running lanes to develop. But then he was able to hit that hole. But unfortunately for him, he was just about to get to that second level, and then Matthew Machenbacher again, like we said earlier, just able to plug him right up and then just force him back.
So Hartness will hand it off to Mosier. Mosier will shake off one tackle, but he'll keep going. And he brings the ball to the 50-yard line, bringing up 3rd and 2 for the Eagles offense. As the Eagles' run game remains proficient, as it's been able to give them nice medium gains on each play, just running out the clock and running down the field at the same time.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's probably another key for Davies, is using those runs kind of slow, like the slow, methodical runs, slow down the defense, and that just allows them to go those over-the-top passes.
So Hartness will fake the handoff and looks to pass. And he looks, and he will connect with Reagan Greff, but he will lose the football. And that will be recovered by Carson Dean, as the ball will be in the hands of the Shanley Deacons now, after a great defensive play to cause the turnover by the Deacons secondary.
Yeah, I believe in that play, once David Retriever had that, he was able to he did have that defender wrapped up around him. He was kind of pulling him, then the defender just able to reach his hand around, knock that ball loose, and then just recover it right away. So that was a really good job there by the Deacons defense there. They're kind of getting a little beat up there on that possession here. Davis is just starting to pick up their drive, and now with that turnover, I believe that's the second turnover that went the Deacons' way here in this game.
So that was Isaac Emeneth who recovered the fumble and Carson Dean who caused the fumble. As the Deacons will hand it off to Devine on the 1st and 10 play here. We will pick up just about 2 yards. Bring up 2nd and 8 for the Deacons offense from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, again, the Deacons defense being their primary strong suit here for the football game, coming up big with another play here to put the offense back up on the field after that disappointing 4th down here. So now Davies is going to have to play with a little bit more aggression here on the defense end. They turn the ball over again. So now they're going to have to see if they can make the play and get the ball back for their defense.
So Mattern will fake the jet to Kochman here, but he will keep it for himself and will I believe he'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage. And it'll be 3rd and 8 for the Deacons here, as Hunter Hannison will sub in for Quincy Smith. So this could be a big play for the Deacons here as they try to extend their drive. And as the Eagles, on the other hand, will try to stop them and maybe get the ball back with good starting field position. As Cooper Mattern will fake the handoff and looks to pass. He looks for Carson Dean, and Dean will not be able to haul it in, as he was making a great effort there to get around to the ball, but he just could not quite hang on to it, going to the ground.
Yeah, it looks like Dean had that ball right, and it's almost in the breadbasket as he was falling for it. It looks like it kind of slipped there and it popped out there, so that's an unlucky break here for the Deacons.
So it'll be 4th and 9 here for the Deacons offense, as Emmett Kenny will await to punt it away. And that will be Ty Satter back to return the punt. And he will be met right away by, I believe, Hunter Hannison. Yes, that'll be Hunter Hannison on the stop for the Deacons.
Yeah, not quite sure why Satter just didn't fair catch that ball, because I mean he did have about three or four Deacons right in front of him when he fielded that punt there. So I think he should sort of put that hand up for that fair catch, get the ball, and not lose yardage on that.
So nevertheless, it is 1st and 10 for the Eagles here from the 46-yard line in their own territory. And Hartness will go under center on this play. And he will hand it off to Carlson. And Carlson will be met by Joe Cava for no gain on the play. In fact, I believe a loss of 1. And that will bring up 2nd and 11 for the Eagles offense.
Yeah, again, Joe Cava getting on that play. He's really good at that, getting to the ball. He's able using his speed and his strength. He's a pretty strong guy, I would say. Just using those lineman moves that AC taught him. Go through the line, just able to wrap up right away and just stop any forward progression for the offense. So
it'll be a toss out to Carlson. Carlson trying to evade some Deacon defenders, but he'll be stopped way behind the line of scrimmage by, I am not quite sure who was there on the stop for the Deacons.
Yeah, those are the plays for running backs that you don't want to run laterally. You want to move up and down. See, on that possession, Carlson just tried to see if he can get outside. So he had to run a little bit backwards, see if he can cut up and use his speed. But the Deacons read that perfectly and kind of forced him off to that sideline and then get that really big loss.
So 3rd and 19 here for the Eagles offense, as they have 3 receivers split out to the left. Hartness will try to get by a sack, but he will not evade it. That is Joe Cava once again blasting through the Eagles offensive line and making the sack on Reed Hartness, bringing up 4th and 19 for the Davies Eagles. And a quick little score update here, folks. Cheyenne leads South 28-14 as they just start the 3rd quarter here. So the Eagles to punt it away here on 4th and 18. That is a nice punt by Brock Haddle, as Jackson Lyer will fair catch it at about the 29-yard line. So a great job by the Deacons on that last drive, on that last defensive drive for them to kind of make their presence known, especially with the defensive line, as there are multiple plays where Joe Cava, the star senior defensive lineman, getting through the Davies offensive line and making some nice plays behind the line of scrimmage to help out the Deacons defense and have the Eagles offense lose yardage. So 1st and 10 here from the 29-yard line for the Deacons, as Mattern will throw out a little side screen to Aiden Devine. Devine will try to get to the outside. He'll shake off one defender. He'll spin past another, as he will pick up the 1st down and takes the ball to the 46-yard line. Great play there by Devine to make a couple moves and get through defenders for a couple extra, 1 or 2 extra yards gained.
Yeah, again, the Deacons offense looking like it picked up right where it left off in their last possession here. And those screens are really good there for their back, especially for Aiden Devine using his speed, just able to get past that initial line and then just zooming past anybody else that's in his way.
And there will be a timeout taken by the Davies Eagles. It appears there was a timeout taken by the Eagles. And there is no timeout taken. So it will be 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line for the Deacons. 3 receivers to the right as Mattern looks to pass. He will roll to his right. and he will just have to tuck it and run, and gains only about 1 or 2 yards on that play.
Yeah, it looked like on that position they had all three of the receivers on the short side of the field. So on that situation, it's easier for the defense just to almost corral them in that short side of the field there, and that only allowed Madden to just pick up those extra yards because he wasn't able to get that pass through just because of the receivers in such close proximity with the defenders.
So 2nd and 8 here for the Deacons offense from the 48-yard line. Still in their own territory. There will be one receiver split out on each side for the Deacons. Madden will hand it off to Devine. Devine will shake off a couple tackles, but he will only gain about 2 yards on that play, bringing the ball to the 50-yard line and bringing up 3rd down for the Deacons offense.
That was a really good job there by Davies' defensive line, closing up all those running lanes for Aiden Devine and then just bottling them up there. They need to continue to do that the rest of this game if they want to limit Shanley's explosive run game here tonight.
Yeah, Davies is definitely going to have to keep this trend, if you will, up that they've had for the last couple of plays of stopping the very dangerous Aiden Devine, who goes right up the middle almost every time. So it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Deacons as Madden drops back to pass. He'll try to throw a screen to, I believe, Henry Collins, but that will fall incomplete and will bring up 4th down. As Emmett Kenny will come out on the field to punt the ball away for the Deacons. So just over a minute left in the 3rd quarter here as the Deacons still lead the Eagles, 14-10. And Kenny's punt is up. Satter back to return, as that will land by a couple Eagles, but that will be down by Johnny Gores at about the 23-yard line. And a quick reminder, folks, if you've enjoyed watching our ShanleyTV.com broadcast, please consider making a donation to help us continue to bring you quality programming. We rely on donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you are interested in donating, please contact Joelle Shuey at 701-893-3225. Again, that's Joelle Shuey at 701-893-3225. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your support of Shanley TV. So 1st and 10 here for the Eagles at about the 21-yard line. And it will be a handoff to Satter, who takes it to the outside. A nice gain there by Ty Satter, bringing the ball all the way out to the 36-yard line for a nice pickup for the Eagles offense.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Satter, usually a receiving threat in that running back position, so allows him to get the ball earlier and use his speed to get through. As you saw there, he was just able to plow through Shanley's defense and pick up that 1st down there. So really good job there by Ty Satter. So it should be interesting to see if they continue to use him as a receiving threat, if they use him for a few more runs.
And Hartness will hand it off to, I believe, Mosier, as Mosier will pick up a nice gain of about 6 yards there. And as the clock winds down, just 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. So it's 2nd and 4 here for the Eagles offense from the 42-yard line. So 2nd and 4 here, Hartness under center, as there's a fumble on the snap. The Deacons are saying that they recovered it. We'll see the ref signal. And it is recovered by the Deacons defense. Another turnover. Big play for the Deacons defense. And another error for the Eagles offense, as we've seen that fumble come up multiple times so far in this game.
Yeah, as we said earlier, that's gonna be one of the keys for Davies if they want to win this game, is Reed Hartness, their quarterback, not fumbling the ball. That's his 3rd fumble here tonight. And that's the 2nd one that's been recovered by Shanley here. So now Shanley, with really good field positioning, is looking to score here and then put them up 21. Would be able to put them at 21-10 here, and then it'd be a 2-score game. So the Davies defense really needs to step up here and stop them and get their offense back on the field.
So one last play here in the 3rd quarter, as it will be a toss out to Kochman, and a nice gain of about 7 yards there for Kochman, as that will bring the end of the 3rd quarter. And as the Deacons will huddle with their 4s up in the air. And And hopefully going into this fourth quarter, we'll see a lot of momentum for the Deacons after that big turnover. And the Deacons are always amped up in the fourth quarter, as they call it their quarter. Their kind of time to shine, their time to leave it all out on the field, and that fumble recovery will surely help that, as the energy appears to be up a lot more on the Deacons sideline and on the field. So the Deacons still with good field position here at the start of the fourth quarter. Chance to extend their lead here and perhaps put the nail in the coffin, as this has been more of a defensive showing so far tonight, as there has not been many huge offensive plays.
Yeah, so it should be interesting to see what Shanley would do here. They're obviously their run game's doing a really, really good job here tonight. But yeah, I'd like to see maybe a few more passes here. I mean, the Davies defense is probably really tired here after a lot of those long runs there by Kochman, Cooper Mattern, and Aiden Devine here. So if they would be able to air it out, maybe the receivers would be able to go out and get a play. And then if you're Davies, you're just hoping that your defense is going to be able to step up, stop them on this possession, get the ball back in your offense, and then offensively score the ball and don't turn the ball over. Because if they turn the ball over again, then Shanley's probably going to score, and then that's going to put this game away here.
So the Deacon offense now taking the field, as it will be 2nd and 5 from the 34-yard line. And once again, it is 14-10 in favor of the Deacons. So Matter waiting for the official signal from the refs. And the Deacons will line up with 2 receivers to the right and 2 backs alongside Mattern in the backfield. The Eagles will show rush. It will be a toss out to Kochman. Kochman will lower his shoulder and try to gain a couple extra yards. Nice gain there. But it will bring up 3rd and about 2. 3rd down and 3 for the Deacons, actually. And the Deacons will line up on 3rd and 3 with 2 receivers to the left and 2 backs in the backfield. As Mattern will fake the handoff. He'll fumble it, but he will fall right on it, assuring no Eagles to recover that.
Yeah, it looked like a little miscommunication there between Matter and his running backs. It looked like they did a fake handoff, and then he was going to hand the ball off to Devine, and then that ball just hit Devine around his hip. Maybe Devine thought Cooper was going to take that and do a run. Cooper obviously thought that Aiden was going to take the ball. And luckily for Cooper, the ball just dropped right at his feet, and he's able to recover that. So now it's going to be about a 4th and long here. So it looks like Coach Matter wants them to continue to keep their offense on the field, and then obviously get the first down and maybe score again.
So the Deacons will go for it on 4th and 7 here. 3 receivers split out to the right, as Mattern will punt it away himself. And the Deacons trying to get it before it gets in the end zone, and they will. And they will pin the Eagles deep in their own territory. Looks to be from about the 2-yard line. A great play there by a nice punt by Mattern, and a great job by Collins and the other Deacon receivers to get to the ball quick and stop it before it rolls into the end zone.
Yeah, that was a really interesting play. I thought they were going to go for it, and then Mattern gets the ball. And obviously the Eagles thought they were going to go for it as well, so they didn't want to rush. They didn't really rush a lot, so it allowed Mattern just to drop the ball and kick it. And then Henry Collins, as we said earlier, using his speed, is able to get to the ball and then stop it right before it rolled into the end zone for a touchback. And then another Deacon defender was just able to grab that ball and put it down at the 2-yard line. So really, really good job there. So now Deacon's defense is in a good position to maybe get a safety and then hold the Eagles' offense here.
So the Eagles way in their own territory, as that will be a handoff to Mosier. Mosier, a nice gain of 7 or 8, getting themselves out of a little bit out of that hole that they've so far deep. That they're so deep in from the Deacons punt team.
Yeah, and still only a 4-point game here, so a touchdown here may decide this game here. So for the Eagles, they need to score on this. I believe that they need to score on this possession here, because if they get the ball back to Shanley's just going to run the clock out and win here by 4.
So just under 10 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. as they will send Satter in motion. Hartness will fake the handoff and keep it himself and takes it up the middle. And he will pick up the Eagles' first down and brings the ball all the way out to the 24-yard line. So
yeah, again, Reed Hartness doing a really good job. They're running the ball. They're just able to weave through the defenders, pick up that first down. A few missed tackles there by the, especially I believe it's the linebackers for the Deacons, missed a few tackles there. So good job there by Hartness to be able to continue to run downhill and pick up that first down.
So the Eagles so far in this drive doing a great job of getting themselves out of their own territory and getting the ball down the field with that very proficient run game. And Deacons want a false start as the ball is handed off to Carlson. Carlson will take it to the outside and will pick up the first down for the Eagles. And the Deacons are not happy with that, what they think missed call. There appeared to be a little movement in the backfield before the ball was snapped.
Yeah, it seems like on that play, the ball was snapped and none of the offensive linemen really moved, and then they moved. So it looks like it was so obviously on the Deacon perspective of that play, it looked like a false start there, but unfortunately there was no call for them. That allowed Davies to pick up that first down.
So Hartness fakes the pass, and he will try to throw a little flare out to Truman Weremeyer. That will fall incomplete. I'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles from the 37-yard line.
Yeah, first pass for Davies on this possession here. I believe it's been 6 runs, and now it's going to be 1 pass. So, and they haven't really targeted Satter in the in this fourth quarter here. So I'd like to see them maybe target Satter a little more. He seems to be getting open on a lot of his routes, as long as Reed can just hit him on those passes.
So 2nd and 10 here for the Eagles, as Hartness will be under center, and he will hand it off to Carlson. Carlson trying to make his way to the outside. Picks up about 3 yards on that play. And there we see that play once again where the Eagles will send Carlson in motion, and they will either hand it off or Hartness will just take it himself. But Carlson's been doing a great job so far tonight of making his way through the Deacon defenders, kind of staying inside the corners but a little bit outside of the Rover Deacon. So 3rd and 7 here for the Eagles offense. As Hartness is under center, he looks for a little screen out to Satter. Satter with a nice one-handed pull-in. And Satter will gain the first down for the Eagles. Nice play there by Ty Satter to reach behind him with one hand and haul that ball in and keep the play alive.
Yeah, really good job there. Obviously, with that really good catch there with one hand, and then him taking that, and then just running right along that sideline, plowing through the defenders, and then just getting that first down. So, I mean, as again I said, they target him again now, and he's able to pick up that first down. So he's doing a really consistently good job of picking up those first downs after he makes that reception.
So 1st and 10 here for the Eagles from their own 48-yard line. 3 receivers out to the right for the Eagles offense, as Hartness is in the shotgun formation, and Satter will go in motion to the left, and he will get the jet sweep. He'll try to get it up. He'll meet one Deacon defender pretty hard for a nice gain of 6 or 7, as we see Ty Satter getting the ball once again more as a running back and just being able to pound his way through the Deacon defense.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't used him. They didn't use him earlier in the game. As you can see now, that's his 2nd time running the ball here, and both those times he's picked up at least 5 to 6 yards here. So maybe in the first half they were just trying to feel out what the defense was doing. If they didn't want to go out right away with probably one of their better athletes and using that play right there. But that was a really good job there by Satter, just able to get that run and then gain those extra yards.
Now 2nd and 5 as they will hand it off to Carlson, and Carlson will be met behind the line of scrimmage by Leo Hansen, it appears. Nice play by the Deacon defense.
Yeah, Leo Hansen, another one of the senior linebackers. He's pretty close. I'd say he's pretty close to Matthew Monchbach, the other linebacker, in that sense for the game. And Leo just having another nose for the football, able to get through. He's been in. I believe he's probably been in most of the tackles here tonight. He's done a really good job with that. He really likes to stay home and then get those really nice tackles there. He really does hit low and grabs around those ankles, and he's really good at that.
So 3rd and 7 here for the Eagles as they have 3 receivers out to the right, and Hartness drops back to pass, and the ball will fall incomplete. The pass intended for Mosier. So Good defense there by the Deacons secondary, as that will bring up 4th down and 7 for the Eagles. And it looks like the Eagles will switch their personnel and will bring out their punter, Brock Haddle. So Jackson Lyer back once again to return the punt for the Deacons. A nice snap. And the ball will roll. Lyer will not pick it up. He will let the Davies Eagles put it down. And the Deacons will start from about their own 17-yard line. Excuse me, their 18-yard line.
And now for Davies, you're going to have to rely on your defense again to stop. As you can see, their offense wasn't able to convert for a touchdown. They weren't able to get past midfield here. So Deacons defense is doing a really good job of limiting, especially in this 4th quarter, the Eagles' explosiveness on the offensive end. And now it's just going to be the Eagles' defense to step up here, get the stop, and give their offense the ball back again.
So we're just about halfway done with the 4th quarter here, as there is a flag on the play. And it will be a it will be a false start on the Deacons offense. Another penalty on the line there, as we've seen a lot of false starts for the offensive lines on both teams tonight. So now 1st and 15 for the Deacons from their own 13-yard line. 2 receivers out to the right for the Deacons. Mattern will take the shotgun snap. He fakes one pass, and he will be bottled up and sacked inside their own 10-yard line. Mattern violently thrown to the ground on that play, as that will bring up 2nd down, 2nd and long for the Deacons offense.
Yeah, I believe on that play, Mattern did the pump fake right away to get the cornerbacks to bite, and he was trying to see if he can put it over top to Henry Collins, as Henry Collins was running a fade along the sideline. But unfortunately for him, the defensive line just able to get around his offensive line and then sack him there for that big loss.
So 2nd and 19 here for the Deacons from their own 9-yard line. Mattern will hand out to Devine. Devine, a couple shifty moves to get through the defensive line, as he will get it between the sticks. Still about 10 yards shy of the 1st down. Or it will be 3rd and 11, so he will not be between the sticks. It will be 3rd and 11 from the Deacons' own 17-yard line here. So 3 receivers split out to the right for the Deacons, as Mattern will be in the shotgun formation. Mattern will fake the handoff and looks to pass. He looks for Quincy Smith, but the ball over Smith's head, as that will be 4th and 11 deep in their own territory for the Deacons.
Yeah, on that play, Davies brought the pressure there, blitzed both the linebackers. Hubermatter had to make that quick second decision, throw the ball almost right away as he got it, and hopefully for him, Quincy Smith was able to run that ball just a little bit overthrown there, because if Cooper was just held the ball a little bit longer, that would have been another sack there for the Davies Eagles.
So Kenny, punting it away, had to act with a little bit of urgency there, as Ty Satter will take the punt. He'll get through a few defenders. He'll knock one to the ground, and he will be tripped up and brought down at their own 45-yard line for the Eagles.
Yeah, good return there by Ty Satter. One bounce out of the ball, picks it up, makes a few Deacon defenders miss, and just able to bring the ball to about their own 45-yard line. So good field position here, so hopefully the offense can capitalize after the last 3 drives, I believe, have been uneventful for them.
And this is a big play for the Davies offense here, as they are down 14-10 with just 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. As the ball will be handed off to Mosier, and Mosier will get a nice gain of about 8 on that play. We'll bring up 2nd and short for the Eagles. And this is a pretty dangerous situation here for the Deacons, as the Eagles in this game, they've done a great job of making their way down the field, but they've also wasted a lot of time while doing it. And with only 4.5 minutes left in this game, if Davies can march their way down, that will not leave a lot of time left for the Deacons to respond to them. As the ball is handed off here to Sam Mosier once again, he'll pick up a nice gain and will pick up the 1st down for the Eagles.
One thing I made a notice of is every time that the Deacons are tackling, even though they're still up 14-10, their linebackers. What they do is they like to wrap up, and then everybody else that gets to the ball tries to rip the ball out, and that's why they've had a few of those fumbles. They're doing a really good job of that. I assume trying to rip that ball out, but luckily for Davies, they're able to keep that ball secure for them.
So Hartness under center here as he will hand it off to Mosier once again, and Mosier will be met right away by a swarm of Deacon defenders.
Mosier on the carry for the Eagles.
So a much-needed stop for the Deacons as there was a lot of momentum in Davies' favor prior to that play.
Yeah, and one thing, Davies doesn't really seem to have a sense of urgency with about 3:45 left on the clock here. They're kind of taking their time running their plays there, so I don't know if they're just waiting until maybe like 3 minutes left and they start speeding it up. But if I were them, I probably would just start running no huddle and then see if they can get the defense stumbling backwards.
So Carlson in motion to the left here as he'll take it. He'll take the jet, and he will run behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3 or 4 on that play.
Yeah, kudos to Jackson Lyer on that play. The cornerback cutting right down, forcing Mosier to go outside. Almost got that tackle there, almost got him by the ankle there. They just forced him to go out of bounds and letting the rest of his team force him out of bounds for a loss of about 3 yards.
Yeah, great job by Lyer there to put, I believe it was Carlson, in a bit of an awkward situation as he kind of had to run backwards just to get around Lyer, who was coming up strong. So it will be 3rd and 13 here for the Eagles, as there will be a timeout taken by Coach Huber on the Deacon defense.
Yeah, I think Huber saw something he didn't like there on the defense. Maybe a few matchups. It looks like they didn't have the right personnel in the correct positions there. So good timeout there. Let those players catch their breath and then fix that problem that he saw there.
And that will be the Deacons' first time out of the half, as they may need to use. That is their second time out of the half, as they will probably need to utilize their last timeout with this in this last drive if they do get the ball back. If Davies does score. So Huber seems to have adjusted his defense as they will take the field once again. And it'll be 3rd and 13 for the Eagles from the Deacons' 38-yard line. One receiver out right as Carlson will go in motion to the left, but there will be a penalty on the play, as it will be a false start on the Eagles' offense. A huge mistake by the Eagles here, as that will now bring up 3rd and 18.
Yeah, another one of miscues that Davies has had that's obviously been really unfortunate for them. Instead of being about just 3rd and 13, now it's 3rd and 18. So now they almost have to pass here. So now defensively for the Deacons, they know that, hey, there's a pass probably going to be coming here, so they know how they can adjust to that.
Carlson in motion to the left as Reed Hartness will take it himself, and he will get a nice gain. He will charge his way all the way within 2 yards of the first down marker. Excellent job there by Reed Hartness to stay on his feet and power through that Deacon defensive line.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be a pass there, but then Reed Hartness reminded me that, hey, he can still run the ball here, and then he was able to pick up 16 yards on that play here. So now it's going to be 4th down. It looks like a timeout was called. So now Davies is going to say, now Davies is probably going to be looking at, hey, what are we going to do here? Is it going to be another run by Reese, their quarterback, and then, or they may be able to just give the ball to Carlson or Mosier here, because we haven't seen Carlson a lot here tonight, not tonight, in this 4th quarter here. It's been a lot of Mosier and Hartness runs.
Yeah, Carlson was definitely a big component in the Davies offense for the first 3 quarters as they continued to run that jet sweep to the outside for Carlson. As it will be 4th and 2 as the Eagles try to keep this drive alive. Being down by 4 with just under 3 minutes left. And they will send Mosier in motion as Hartness will take it himself, and he will pick up the Eagle first down, bringing the ball to the 24-yard line for the Davies offense. Huge play there by Hartness.
Yeah, again, Hartness using his running ability as a quarterback, gets that first down, gets a few extra yards after contact through that line of scrimmage now. So now they got the fresh set of downs here with about 2:44 left on the clock here. So they might start to pick up the tempo here, see if they can get a few more plays running.
So just outside the red zone for the Eagles offense, as Hartness will take the ball himself once again, and he will get through. He will take it inside the 10-yard line, making it first down and goal for the Davies offense. Once again, a huge play by Reed Hartness to make his way through the Deacon defense.
Yeah, it's kind of in the story of the night for both teams is yards after contact. As you saw there, it looked like Hartness was going to get stopped at about the line of scrimmage, and then he was just able to plow through that defensive line, hit the contact, and then just carry himself forward to get that first down. Now puts him in a first and goal spot here, in a really good scoring position here to see if they can take this lead.
So first and goal from the 6-yard line here for the Davies Eagles, as it will be handed off to Mosier. Mosier will try to power his way up, and he'll be stopped just shy of the end zone at about the 1-yard line. So it'll be second and goal from the 1 for the Davies Eagles.
Yeah, they're probably going to run another run play here. It may go to Satter. He's done a really good job here, or they can just continue to run the ball with Mosier. It looks like Satter's running off to the sideline, so obviously he's not going to get the ball this possession. It's probably going to be it's probably going to be a Hartness run, maybe out of the draw or underneath center, since they're on about the 2-yard line, it looks like. So we'll see what they do here.
So second and goal here from the Davies Eagles, about 1.5 yards to go. As Hartness will hand it off to Mosier. Mosier will try to make his way through some Deacon defenders, and he will be stopped just shy at about the half-yard line. Great job there by the Deacon defense to stand strong and not let him through. And a timeout is taken by the Deacon defense, their last timeout of the game. And Roman, if you're Coach Huber, what do you think you're going to say to your defense right now?
Stop the run. That's all I have to do here. They stop the run here, it'll turn to fourth down, and then fourth down, they just got to stop the run again. And then they do that, they get the ball back with 123. Maybe run one play, get out of their own end zone, kneel the ball, it's game over. And for Davies on this possession, they have to score. I mean, if they don't score here, and then they do have another opportunity with fourth down, but they want to score here on the third down, so then obviously they don't have to go to the fourth down with the chance of them turning the ball over and down. So they need to score here for Davies if they want to win this game.
And so a very exciting situation brewing here as the Eagles just 1 yard away from the end zone, down by 4, and the Deacons do need to win this game to make the playoffs. So they will send Setter in motion, and Hartness will make his way into the end zone. Wide open hole, an easy walk for Reed Hartness to make his way for 6.
Judging by the replay, fake handoff, Hartness did a fake handoff to Satter, who's one of their main threats. Push the linebackers open. A wide hole opened up there from their offensive line, and then Hartness is able to walk it in that end zone. So really good job there. I'd say probably from the head coach calling that good play there. Obviously with the misdirection, which they've run so well here tonight, so that was a really good job there by the Davies offense.
So the score now 16-14 in favor of the Eagles, as the Eagles will try to tack on the extra point. I believe that will be Nunez Perez once again, and that will go through the uprights. The Deacons now trailing by a field goal as the score is 17-14 with just 1:20 left in the fourth quarter.
And I just want to make a note of this. We haven't really talked about him a lot, but Emmett Kenny, the kicker for Davies, he does have a leg. He did make about, I believe it was a 43-yarder there earlier this season against St. Mary's, their first game. So he does have a really good leg. So if Shanley's offense isn't able to score, they're going to see if they can just get themselves in the good field goal range, allow Emmett Kenny to make his kick, and then this game will go into overtime.
So definitely, if I'm Emmett Kenny, I'm definitely starting to feel the pressure a little bit here, as he may be needed to try and tie the game and save the Deacons' season here tonight. With just 1:20 left, as the Deacons will return the kick here.
I would expect this kick to just go deep, not let any chance allow the Deacons any chance to return the ball, have them start at their 20, and then have their defense come up huge, which they did their last possession, came up huge there, and then allow their offense to come back and score.
And it will be the two sophomores, Aiden Devine and Johnny Gores, back deep to return for the Deacons, as they are both known for their, not very known for their size, but known for their shiftiness and speed and ability to open up a play. So the Eagles to kick it away now from the middle of the field, as that will be a bit of a squib kick, and it will be taken by Carter Kochman. Kochman trying to gain some yards. A nice return there by Kochman, bringing the ball to the 34-yard line for the Deacons to start up shop.
So, a minute 15 left. A lot of time here for the Deacons offense. They may run the ball a few times to get their running backs. I believe it'd probably be Aiden Devine use his explosiveness, see if they can pick up some extra yardage, and if not, they might be able to throw quick passes. I believe their goal is obviously to score a touchdown, but if they're not able to, at least get in the field goal range for Ed McKinney, see if he can kick a game-time field goal.
So a minute 15, the Deacons line up with double receivers. Madden will look to pass. He will throw out a little screen to Devine. Devine will make his way up the field for a nice little gain of about 8 yards. And no timeouts left for the Deacons.
And you can hear I don't know if you could hear that from the Davies fans. Clock didn't run there on that possession, so obviously they were really upset with that. That took off probably about, I'd say, maybe 8 or 9 seconds, and they're only going to give them 5 there. So obviously for the Davies Eagles, they're not excited. They're really upset for that play because the clock didn't run there. And then obviously for the Deacons, you got a little lucky break. You get a few extra seconds here to maybe extend your drive out a little bit more.
Yeah, Devine was not able to get out of bounds on the play prior to this, so the clock was running, but there were some difficulties with the scoreboard. So
another note to mention, Shanley does not have any timeouts left, so they have to get out of bounds on these possessions if they want to preserve this clock life.
So Madden looks to pass, and it will be over the head of Carson Dean.
And then Cooper just took a big shot there at the end after he threw that pass there. So
And Deacon fans wanting a roughing the passer call, but they will not get it.
yeah, that ball had to come out quick out of Cooper Madden's hands, and just unfortunately for him, way over the head of Carson Dean there. Because if Carson Dean would have collected, that would have been the first down using his speed. May have been able to get in that field goal range, but they need to be able to get out of bounds on these possessions.
So 3rd and 3 here for the Deacons as Madden will throw it out to Devine. Devine trying to make his way upfield, but he'll be stopped inbounds behind the line of scrimmage. Brings up 4th down and 4 with 54 seconds and counting left in the game. The Deacons really have to speed this up. So a giant play here for the game as Madden will look to pass. He will not connect with Carson Dean as that will fall incomplete. And Davies will take over from the 40-yard line in Deacon territory.
Yeah, on that play, ball a little high there. Carson Dean went after the ball, had the ball a little bit in his hands, and that ball just slapped out. But now we do have an injured player here on the field for Davies.
As he will be helped off to the sideline. And a quick reminder, folks, thank you once again for watching our stream on Shanley TV. And if you would like to make a donation, please, to help us continue bring you quality programming, we rely on donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you are interested in donating, please contact Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Again, that is Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your support of Shanley TV.
Hard mission just to me there. Wind the clock down. Looks like Coach Manos will already walking on the field. So looks like this game is over here. As I'd say, going forward, I do believe now that since Davies does win, Shanley is now not in the playoffs here. They did have that lead earlier in there, but unfortunately for them, Davies just made a few of those extra plays there, allowing them to make that, allowing them to score that touchdown there, and then obviously their defense stepped up huge on that last possession. Good run there by two good runs there by Aiden Devine. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get on a bounce of both of those, and then Cooper Madden, first pass incomplete there to Carson Dean, again way over his head, and then the second one right almost to the hands of Carson Dean, and that ball was just knocked out of there. So really good job there, I would say, for Davies, just able to hold up here. So now we look forward for Davies to see who they play next week for the playoffs.
So the final score of this game, 17-14 in favor of the Davies Eagles over the Shanley Deacons, as it brings a bitter end to the Deacons season, and what I would say is a pretty successful first season in 3A, only losing 2 games overall. So they've looked pretty good. 3 games overall, excuse me. So they came out with a pretty good first season. And as you can see on the field, the Davies Eagles hoisting the 25th Street Rivalry Trophy.
Yeah, I believe it's kind of unexpected for Shanley. You know, this would be their first year playing 3A. It's a lot different than 2A. I mean, obviously the schools are bigger and you're playing better competition. But they came out here and showed that, hey, we can play there. But sadly for them, their season was just cut short here because of what Dave was able to do here late in the stretch.
Yeah, so the Shanley Deacons coming up just 3 points shy of making the playoffs here, as it puts an end to a great season by them, and it continues the Eagles season as we will see what their seeding is for the playoffs. And from Shanley TV, I'm Andy Simon, joined with Roman Shrema. Thank you for listening to this broadcast, and if you'd like to view any other archived broadcasts, please make sure to visit our YouTube page and subscribe if you would like. Thank you for listening, and we love you all.